authors, and they are all healers. And these are the kinds of people who are willing to have the conversations that not everybody is willing to have. I really want the people on this show to have not only a way to express their own stories and tell you about themselves, but also to have a conversation with me that they might not be able to have with just anybody. I want to offer the listeners a different way to think about healing. I mentioned that already. And I want to give them an idea of all the different kinds of people and healers and writers and artists that are out there, just waiting to serve them with some pretty amazing, offers and words and inspiration and courage. It's not just me out there doing this kind of work. There are so many of us creating this revolution. So in each show, I'm going to ask my guests to give our listeners an actionable tip that they can walk away with, that they can practice immediately, that will basically get them moving down this journey and feeling like they're not alone as they do it.
Okay, that's absolutely awesome. I can't wait for that first show. And as I said, we're going to reveal who that guest is at the end of the show, so stay tuned, everyone. Laura, if anyone would like to learn a little bit more about you, I know you're all over social media and you have a website, you have an absolutely brilliant Facebook group as well. So how can people reach you and connect with you over and above the radio show, and then find out about the radio show as well, because you're going to be posting it there, and I'll tell them how they can find out a little bit more about the Coach on Fire Radio Network next.
Yes.
So how can they reach you, Laura?
Yeah, definitely. You can see what I'm all about at bravehealer.com, and I'm pretty addicted to Facebook, so you're going to find me on Facebook at Brave Healer by Laura. And I mentioned my free group for healers earlier. The Brave Healers Mastermind and Refuge is a place, actually I didn't mention it earlier, it's a place where you're going to meet a community of like-minded, heart-centered healers that to do this journey with. And I've created that free group especially for this specific group of people who's really looking to kind of up their game in the expressing their stories. So you can find me there. And I'm basically on all kinds of social media as well. If you're a Twitter fan, I'm at Live Heal TKD. TKD means Taekwondo, by the way. That's part of who I am. And I'm also on Instagram and LinkedIn. And oh my gosh, I'm on way too much social media. I've just decided.
Okay, Laura, are you still there?
I am. Some crazy noises happening.
Yeah, I just heard it as well. We'll take care of that and edit, and hopefully the audience isn't hearing that. So okay, and yeah, Laura's Facebook group, I am a member of that, and it is a absolutely engaged and brilliant group of I think mostly women. I might be one of the only men there, but it is a brilliant group, and I highly recommend that. Laura, what else do you have going on? Do you have programs that people can join, or what do you have upcoming in the coming weeks?
Well, my newest workshop started online, and that is Intuitive Writing for Healers. That's a 6-week program where I basically hold your hand and move you through writing and creating the things that will serve who you were born to serve as a healer. And I'll be doing another one of those 6-week online classes again in the fall. But one of the other things that's coming up, and if you're local to the DMV, the DC metro area, I teach at the Writers Center. And the Writers Center is an amazing resource that we have here locally in Maryland. I'm going to be teaching some live classes there coming up this summer. And one of them is called Writing as a Path to Healing. And the other workshop is called Writing the Thing You're Afraid to Write, which is one of my favorite workshops to teach. So you're going to get all of my online offerings and my live offerings will be up on my website, and you can also get with me on Facebook to get some details about those live workshops or the online workshops if you are interested. And, I started offering some intuitive writing strategy sessions to my clients and to my fans because basically they were asking me for it. So I've been a little bit of everywhere when it comes to my writing, and the blogging has been one of the most magical, amazing things for me, and I wanted to talk a little bit about that, especially to encourage my fellow healers to get out there and do your blogs, share your stories, and definitely take advantage of guest blogging. And you'll find blogs of mine on Mind Body Green and on the Elephant Journal and Tiny Buddha and personalgrowth.com and on the Huffington Post. And oh my gosh, honestly, there's many other places that I've guest blogged. And it has been really amazing to be able to share my messages with a bigger audience. It took some courage. And that's basically what I'm helping other people do with the strategy sessions is just, I'm going to get you through the inner critic voice. I'm going to get you through the fear. I'm going to get you to the other side where you can actually take action on some of your dreams for writing and speaking those messages. And that almost more than anything else that I'm doing right now is probably exciting me the most because I can see the ripple effect in it. In fact, I'll tell you one great story about guest blogging. I was contacted by Possibilities Publishing Company last year. They wanted to interview me for their Ask the Expert series so that they could publish that on their blog. And I was so excited that they had read one of my blogs. I think it was on Mind Body Green. I was just excited, straight out that they had found me there and read it and really liked what they read, and even more excited that they reached out to me. But at that point, I had this new book brewing in me, and I had been trying to think about if I was going to self-publish, if I was going to reach out to other publishing companies, like what the heck I was going to do with this book. And I decided right then and there that if they liked what I had to offer and they wanted me on their blog, that I should probably be a little bit brave and contact them about my book. And I am really happy to be able to report to you all that my new book will be put out by Possibilities Publishing Company this June 1st. It's called Brave Healing, A Guide for Your Journey. And this is called a teaching memoir. And teaching memoirs are brilliant because they're a kind of book that a lot of us healers want to write. We want to give you our personal stories. We want you to trust us as a healer and as an author. So they're a combination of personal story and tools, teaching. And so that's what this book is all about. And that is one of the biggest things I have going on right now. I'm super excited about that.
Oh, congratulations on that, Laura.
Thank you.
A publisher with a book coming out in June. One of the things I do know about you is that you are a writing machine. As you've mentioned, it's been a lifelong passion of yours. It has helped you. And my one little book in 2012, and you've written like 6 or 7 or whatever it is, some huge number. So you are just an amazing writer and doing just incredible stuff out there. And I assume they can pre-order that book now, or
thanks for
coming up.
Thanks for asking that question. That is in the works. And so probably in the next couple of days, we're going to be able to start the pre-order process. So thank you. That'll be, that'll be up all over the place when it's ready to roll. And you know what? You said something about me being a writing machine. You're not the first person to tell me that. I do write a lot, and I publish a lot. And some people look at me sideways and they're like, "Dude, what sort of drugs are you on that you're writing so much? Like, how do you have this energy?" And this is a tip for my listeners and for all the people out there who kind of look at people like me and go, "Oh my gosh, if only I had that much energy," right? Honestly, it starts with the healing work, and it's what I teach. I am a positive, energetic person anyway, but I have a lot of energy because I take care of myself, guys. I do the self care. I make sure I'm filled up before I give. I really value generosity, but I can't be generous with my time and my energy and my efforts and my writing unless I have a little bit of overflow to give from, right? And so I encourage everybody, if you're thinking that self-care is kind of like a luxury, please realize it's a necessity. And the more you give yourself, the more you're going to be able to give. And that writing, as you clear out some space and create more energy for yourself and fill yourself up on all levels, mind, body, and soul, you're going to be able to connect with that flow, that creative flow that's actually pretty unlimited. So I'm happy to say to you that I've been able to connect with a flow that makes me look like the writing machine. But honestly, I just got really good at connecting.
That is absolutely amazing, Laura, and I think you gave us a couple of really cool tips in there. But I want to go back to something that you said for the entrepreneurs out there and the other healers that might have a fear of writing. You were talking about that a little bit, and in your upcoming class or program, you were talking about how you help people get over that. Can you give us here today just one tip to get people over their fear of writing? Because at the Coach on Fire Radio Network and in my business, it's all about helping people get noticed, be seen, and be heard. And obviously, guest blogging and writing is one aspect of that, as is hosting a radio show. But there are a lot of people that just freeze at writing. I'm going through right that now with a multi-author book. You have people that are a little afraid. What is one tip you could give them today that would get them over that fear, or at least start to get them to start the process to get them over that fear?
Yeah, fantastic. That's a fantastic question. And what you need to realize right off the bat is fear is just a feeling. And so the kind of fear we're talking about today is not your survival instinct kind of fear. Everybody needs that to stay safe in the world. We're talking about the kind of fear that paralyzes you and stops you up and gets you feeling small and powerless and stops you from doing the things you actually really want to do in your life, right? That's the kind of fear. That fear, I want you to realize as you relax and breathe and connect with your body, because that's what I'm going to be getting back to every single episode. Fear is just a feeling. And if you can notice where that is in your body and recognize it, it's that kind of badass awareness that's going to take you through to the other side. You can use the feeling of fear as a compass. And when you start to realize that you can let it point you in the direction of the action step you need to take to move through the fear, you will be unstoppable. A lot of people are afraid to write because the topic that they're writing about is sensitive. It might be a story about their past, a traumatic story. It might be a story about their family. It could be something that they're afraid of backlash. Oh my gosh, there's so many reasons for the fear, right? But there is a way to write your story that is authentic and feels good and can be expressed out loud in the world in a way that really, really helps people. Listen, you guys, what if the very pain you're afraid to share is exactly the thing that will change somebody's life for the better, right? This is the ripple. So yeah, we all need to move through that to the other side. And so the first thing that you need to begin to do is practice the awareness that fear is just a feeling inside of you. And my breath worker told me one day, fear is just excitement without the breath. So that's another way to feel it inside of you. How's that? Does that help you?
That's absolutely perfect, Laura. And that will help a lot of people, I think. And we're coming up towards the bottom of the hour. So I am Michael Brooks. I'm the founder of the Coach on Fire Radio Network, and I am interviewing the absolutely brilliant Laura DeFranco on her premiere radio show on the Coach on Fire Radio Network. I'm going to let her tell you about the title and when that will, and don't hold off on the guest, Laura. We're going to get to that here shortly, but the show premieres in 2 weeks officially, at least without me on the show. And what is the time and the name of the show, and how can people, at least on your end of it,